Good morning and welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I'm Razzle11 and you can find me on X at Razzle11Grinds. Going to take a look at some pitching for today, the 12th of April. It is Saturday. Do have some weird slate breakdowns today. I'm going to go with the 5-game day slate and then the 6-game main evening slate. Some spread out games, some weird slates. Not a lot of weather to deal with. Still some cold. Most parks have wind blowing across the field or in. Not a lot of great offensive environments overall. So, what does that mean for us? It means we need to really dive into pitching. If we get pitching right, we're in a much better spot than a lot of people. Reminder, this is a first look at the pitching options on the slate. It is meant to cut or pull down a little bit, just so we're not stuck fully researching, you know, 20 to 30 pitchers on a daily basis. I will be looking at DraftKings as that is where a majority of my action is. If you do play on FanDuel, I would cut it into a half or even a third, as pricing isn't quite as tight. Stacking is a little easier to do with an upper tier-ish pitcher. But let's dive right into this early 5-gamer. Toronto and Baltimore were rained out yesterday. I believe it should be all right today. Some slight rain, but cold and wind blowing in. So what does that mean for us? That means we get to look at Bowden Francis. I'm not really on Shigano, but Francis this looks solid to begin the season. If you would have picked up a win last time out, uh, kind of matching back-to-back starts, he's not spectacular by any means, but Baltimore overall has had some struggles. His K prop is pretty low at just 3.5 with juice on the over. He is plus 175 to get the W. He is a slight dog at plus 105. Game total of 8. Juice is on the over, but game total of 8. I think he's somebody that's going to be overlooked a little bit, so that's kind of why I wanted to start out with him. He's just one of those guys that are steady enough. Uh, and with the weather in Baltimore, I think we can utilize him at an overweight approach. And long term in this scenario with everything, probably gain a little bit of profit on the field. So there's that. At the top, we get Alcantara. Basically, had his last start skipped due to a rainout and then going on a paternity list. He's going to have some up and down starts this year as his return from Tommy John. Strong K numbers in the first start, not the strongest last start, but the Mets overall are kind of Jekyll and Hyde, especially against right-hand pitchers. They're not as strong in the strikeout department. He's an extreme ground ball guy, which always helps us. He did only throw 70 pitches in his second start after throwing 91 to start the season. Um, a little weird. Maybe it's more of a hard stop at 5 innings early on in the season, and that might be the case, which is a little frustrating, but we can still live with that. His outs prop is 17.5 with juice on the over. He has plus 155 to get the W. K prop of 5.5, juices on the under. It's tied for the second best K prop on this particular slate. Game total of 7.5 with juice on the over, which is tied for the lowest on the slate. And the Marlins are a minus 142 favorite, which is the strongest on the slate as well. Don't really like to rely on the Marlins offense, but Alcantara should be steady and solid, especially pitching at home in this ballpark. Trevor Williams on the other side is somebody I think we're going to use, but it does feel dirty. Coming off a decent start against Arizona, it was a start where we definitely were stacking Arizona quite a bit, and he did beat them. His performances are just going to be all over the place. K prop's 4.5 with juice on the under, so it's second lowest of the guys that we're debating. His outs prop is just 15.5 with juice on the under. So a 5 inning performance, probably. Um, like I did mention, the game total 7.5 is tied for the lowest on the slate. So he's just somebody that we have to consider. I don't really want to, but given how this slate lays out, I think we just have to. Drew Rasmussen, I think I am going to. We're going to have to be on. He's looked solid. Just begin the season. Just in the 70s for pitch count. Does not have an outs prop as of this morning. Tied with Alcantara with the best K prop at 5.5. Juice on the under. He's plus 165 to get the W. He does have the best earned runs prop, where he's tied with Alcantara, but he might be the best. The one worry here is game total of 9, but he is tied with Alcantara as the minus 142 favorite. We just saw Taj Bradley struggle in the first inning and then settle in and shut down the Braves offense. I think Rasmussen could kind of find that same path. We know Atlanta is a volatile offense to face, so there's danger, of course. David Peterson taking on the A's in this ballpark, uh, where there has been plenty of offense. Big time strikeout performance being the season, not so much second start, a lot of walks. So that is worrisome just because walks can lead to big innings, and we know that offense in this ballpark has shown up. So, with that said, I do think there's upside for Peterson. Uh, Game total is 9.5. Juice is on the under, but K prop of 4.5. Juice on the over. He is the favorite on this slate to get the W at plus 135. So he's probably not going to have a clean start, but given this slate again, I think he's in play. The other guy that's going to make my initial list is going to be Martin Perez. Uh, Boston, I don't really want to be picking on them, but they're striking out a ton, um, averaging over 10 strikeouts per game this season, or at least they were going into yesterday. I don't remember how many times they struck out yesterday, but uh, Martin Perez is not really a strikeout pitcher, but he does have 13 of them through 12 and a third. He looks solid enough. I think the weather, wind blowing in, it is a little warmer finally in Chicago, and by warmer I mean it's only up to 60. Wind blowing in. I think Martin Perez is in play, and it feels gross, but this game has a total of just 7.5. Juice is on the over. His K prop is actually 4.5 with juice on the over as well. Uh, Again, feels gross, but the way that Boston has been striking out, I do have far more interest in Perez than I should. Switching over to this main slate here, we get Corbin Burnes. Little revenge start against the Brewers has me intrigued. What I don't like is obviously his walk numbers are sky high right now, which traditionally hasn't been a Burnes thing. Uh, do have some question marks here. The game total is 9. Juice is on the under, but Burnes has the best K prop on the day. 6.5. Juice is on the under. He's plus 130 to pick up the W, which is the second best on this particular slate. He's a minus 180 favorite, which is tied with the Dodgers and Sasaki as the highest favorite on this particular slate as well. Brewers can be pesky. They can get on base. They have some guys that can steal bases, etc. Uh, it's a volatile spot. 10K is a lot for a guy that has no control right now. So there's some worry there. But again, pitching on this slate is not much better, even though we have more games to choose from. It's a questionable pitching slate. So when we have that, we might have to look to Burnes just because I do think there's still upside in there. I just don't know that we're going to get it as often as, Corbin Burnes of 2 years ago. Brian Wu, the guy that I traditionally have picked on with left-handed bats a lot. It's gotten better, but coming off a rough start in San Francisco, which is a great pitcher's park. So there's some questions there, but he's a minus 148 favorite. This game has a total of just 7, lowest on the slate. He has the second best K prop at 5.5 with juice on the over. And he is the favorite to earn the W on this slate at plus 125. All that, and then he also has the highest Oats prop on the slate at 18.5. A lot of stuff lining up for Wu. I think we're going to have to go there. Great ballpark for pitching, of course. I do want to see some of his history against Texas, but on this slate, he's somebody that we're probably going to be highly invested in, fortunately or unfortunately. Sasaki cut down the walks a little bit last time out. Still just 4 innings. I don't know if we're going to get a ton of innings out of him, but he's a large favorite, minus 180. His K prop's 4.5. Kind of a pick 'em. I think we're just going to have to pass on Sasaki, but I think he's trending in the right direction at this point. Kumar Rocker, strong start against Tampa Bay, but just 1K. I'm not sure where the strikeouts are. That's kind of key. He does have a K prop of 4.5, which is on the over, but he's plus 330 to earn the W, and his outs prop is just 14.5. So basically, it's a 5 innings or bust. Mid 70s in pitches for both games. I'm kind of worried about the upside he offers, but obviously this ballpark, this matchup, there's upside in that. But can Rocker realize that upside? I'm not sure. For now, he's definitely in the pool just based on all the options we do have. Chase Downer, one of the top Rockies prospects, struggled early in that start, if I remember correctly, in his debut. Settled in. Um, I think he might be an option. I don't love it, but it is uh, a decent ballpark for him to be pitching in. San Diego does not strike out a whole lot, but their lineup is a little weaker without Cronenworth. Um, Tatis might not be 100%. There are just a couple things that might help out towards the bottom of that lineup that might make Downer viable. He's plus 235 to get the W, which is stronger odds than, a Kumar Rocker. Stronger odds than Andrew Abbott, who will be coming up, somebody that I do like. Game total of 8.5, juices on the under. K prop with just 3.5, juice on the over. I think he does get over that, to be honest. Might be a guy that you want to look into laddering a K prop for some upside, because he just does have a ton of upside in his arm. Ben Brown, not really somebody I want to use. I did write him down because he just seems to be talked about every slate he's on. K prop of 4.5, juices on the over, but plus 285 to get the W. I don't really think he has stuff to dominate the Dodgers. Abbott making his return, threw 92 pitches in his last rehab outing, so I think he is good to go. We did mention or look at some of the weather. It is blowing in strongly from right field in Cincinnati. We're not used to wind blowing in that ballpark from what I can remember. I think Abbott is in play. K prop of 4.5, juices on the over. On the other side, Haney as the underdog is plus 170 to get the W. His K prop of 5.5 with juice on the under. His looks solid. Great K performance last time out against the Yankees. He's definitely in play for me. I think Cincinnati struggles so much against left-handed pitching. The only other guy here that I am considering is going to be Kyle Hart, just because of the matchup. He has not looked great, so but he's somebody with that matchup that's going to get a ton of ownership. So there we have it. There's our first look at pitching. If you enjoy what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, get the alert anytime we drop videos here at TFS Army. If you want to join us, get access to our coaches, tools, sheets, Discord, etc., I'll put links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, that's R-A-Z, for 10% off. And as always, best of luck, everybody.